Hey guys, I'm Shed, I'm a player for Elevate, and today I'm going to be walking you through some tips for planting in Rainbow Six Siege. So usually in a pro game, what you would see is the hard breach operators are usually going to be used for planting quite a lot. So that would be like Thermite, or Hibana, or Ace. That's usually just because those guys are playing a bit safer than the rest of the other characters, and then usually they'll be alive at the end of the round to get the bomb down. Other than that, really good ops just for planting specifically would be someone like Monty. He's got that big shield, he can put it on his back, be immune to bullets, that's very good. Other than that, I would say like Capitao, just because he brings that crossbow with the smoke bolts and the fire bolts. They're very good for just getting a plant down in maybe a bit of a weird space. You can smoke stuff off, you can deny areas with the fire, and then just get an easy plant down. Ying as well, just because those flash candelas, you can blind literally everyone except Warden on the defense, and then while everyone's blinded, you go and get the bomb down. And then maybe as another one, something like Osa, you just put that shield in front of you, plant behind it, fairly straightforward. My biggest tip for planting in ranked is actually just to be creative with it and have some fun. You can sprinkle a lot of chaos into your plants by just bringing a bunch of different operators, like Glaz, Ying, Capitao, Blitz. Say you're a 5-second, you bring all 5 of those, you can actually get away with planting in some weird spots. For example, on border, let's say you're attacking tellers. You'd normally think just jumping in the window and planting here is something someone would do in silver, right? It is just bad. But if you start to bring a bunch of different operators with lots of utility, let's say you got a Capitao smoking here, then let's say Blitz jumps in, runs at the guy on site. Then you've got a Glaz on the window holding angles, another guy planting. You can get away with literally planting anywhere, and I think that's the great part about Siege, is you can get creative, choose where you want to plant, and make your own plans and just do stuff on the fly. You don't have to do default pushes all the time. You can just get creative with it, really. Number one tip, if you want to just plant in a weird place like this, is lots of operators with utility. Like flashbangs, and make loads of noise, make loads of chaos, so that the defending team has no idea what's going on, no idea what you're doing, and 7 seconds later, you've got a bomb down. So here I am on Oregon. I'm attacking kids, playing Thermite, and I want to get a bomb down. What do you do? So the first kind of step when you're attacking kids in this example is you've got to take a little bit of map control first before you can get a bomb down. So in this scenario, we want to be taking control of the master bedroom, closet area, all the way up to sort of armory. So you and your team want to be working on getting a player in armory, maybe through this window here, and taking up to armory control, so then you can hold trophy. And you also want to be working on clearing any sort of utility in master or trophy that might be stopping you from just taking all of this ground. So you want to be communicating with your team and trying to get that done, clearing maybe deployable shields. This is why it can be useful to bring flashes as thermite, so you can chuck flashes and burn utility to then clear a deployable shield off trophy. A lot of people will bring shields here. And yeah, that's sort of step one. You need to take a little bit of the map, give yourself some footing to stand on. Next, you want to go about breaching the walls. For Oregon, there's one main wall attacking kids that you're going to be breaching on sort of a master push, and that's this closet wall here. Go ahead and pop that. Boom, easy. Obviously, if there's any like wall denial, like bandits or mute, you'd need some EMPs, so get a teammate to bring Thatcher or mini EMPs, something like that. Otherwise, if you don't have EMPs, the other alternative would be going into classroom below, down here. So I'll show you real quick. You can go into classroom and either just like shoot the denial off. It will be right here behind this fan, any sort of wall denial. You want to be shooting that off, or just using like an Ash charge or a Zofia charge, something like that. Shoot that off. IQ as well would work just fine. But yeah, so you've taken master control, you've taken armory, you've taken trophy, all of this east side of the map, and you breach the wall. Now we're getting to the main part of the video. How do we plant? You have two options. Option one is this corner right here, which we would call default plant. The hardest part about planting here is actually getting there, because if you don't have control over pit, let's say we've only taken this bit and we don't have control over pit, well, I'm wide open right now. I can just get shot. This is where smoke grenades is going to be quite handy. Just chuck one of those over there, sprint across, and we're good. Just like that. Easy. Then I can just sprint across. Careful of any head holes here. Or a rotate. A lot of teams in rank will just put head holes or a rotate here. Got to be careful of that as well. That's why I'd recommend just getting your pistol out and sprinting, to be honest. Sprint to this corner. And then when you're here, you're actually quite safe. The only way they can kill you is by swinging all the way around here. In which case they're exposed to your trophy and closet breach the entire time. Or the other way is going through like a top white stairs rotate here. There's cool white stairs here. This is like the top white rotate. Yeah, they'd have to push through that rotate, in which case they can be shot by anybody trophy door. So you'd want, in this case, to have a teammate on trophy door, covering you like this, holding these two sort of angles, and another teammate, ideally, on the closet breach as well, so that if anybody comes through either of these two, he can also hold that. And then you've got like a crossfire. If anybody pushes through, he's getting shot by two people at the same time. And then from there, you're pretty much safe. Only other thing you have to worry about is getting C4'd. In which case, the main place that you're going to get C4'd from is below, in Zulu. Quickly show you that. So it might be good to have a drone on that. It's sort of this corner here in Zulu. You can get C4'd. That's the default plant right about there. Or otherwise, actually not a lot of people know this, but if you come into CC and use C4 right there as a defender, it will also deny the default plant. So just be aware of that. There are other ways you can die doing this default plant, other than just getting swung. Just something to keep in mind. And I did say there was two options. The other option for a plant, which not a lot of people will go for in ranked, but it's a bit more common in pro play, is the plant over here on like the concrete door, what we call it, or like pit door, attic pit door. In which case it's kind of the same deal. You're only really exposed to anybody swinging wide around here and swinging wide through the top white rotate, but there is one more thing that you are exposed to, and that is the entirety of pit and attic. So there is an extra bit of map control you need to take before you can go for this plant. So a lot of people, what they will do in ranked or in maybe pro play, is they will also take big tower control at the start of the round and breach out this wall. So they take master control, you'll take the big tower control, and you'll take attic control. And then with all of that stuff, that will enable you to plant in this corner right here, which is also very safe if you've got a teammate covering you from trophy and closet. Same two cover positions as before. It does require a bit more effort, a bit more planning, coordination in ranked, especially if you want to be going for this extra control. But the benefit of that is it's a bit of a more unorthodox plant spot, I would say. Like, not a lot of players in ranked are going to expect you to plant here. They're often going to throw their C4s, their smokes, whatever, to try and deny default plant. If you manage to get a plant down here, it's a bit unexpected, and sometimes that's good. One more thing I actually forgot to mention is that when you're planting in this default corner here, you can also get C4'd from pit. Just like here, someone with a C4 can chuck one over and kill you, really. So that's another reason why it'd be very beneficial to get the big tower control as well as master control for your push in ranked. That way you're pretty much safe to everything. You have two choices of where you can plant, and you're just going to have a much easier time. Right, so let's say we're attacking basement. For basement, I recommend bringing something like Ying. These flashbang grenades on Ying are really going to be very helpful for getting yourself actually in the basement to begin the plant. They're much stronger than the flashbangs you'd find on like Thermite or Habana. They just blind absolutely everybody. So yeah, attacking basement, I recommend you bring Ying. First step is you're going to want to take the big tower control. If you've got Ying, this is actually really easy. All you have to do is just rappel on up to the top of the big tower. Maybe get one guy to chuck a drone in ahead of you, otherwise if you can't bother to do that, what I usually just do is rolling in like that, rappel in. Anybody holding you is already blind, and in 10 seconds you've already taken all of this control. Then you want to get a teammate to help you drone out the bottom of big tower, and you just take all of this control and get someone to then hold the staircase. The next bit you need is you need the meeting hatch so that we can actually make our drop into the basement. So go ahead and work on droning out meeting. You can drone out a teammate, or again, just take it yourself, whatever. So you'd probably entry like this, get someone to drone in front of you, bam bam, easy, you've got meeting. And for just a basic sort of backside execute, this is all you're really going to need in ranked. It's not very common to see this in pro play because people will be a lot more active on their roams and trying to flank you and stuff like that. But in ranked, this should be good enough to just get a bomb down, basically. So yeah, we've got meeting, we've got big tower. What next? You want to go ahead and get this hatch open here. This is why Ying's great, because she's also got hard breach devices, so you can go ahead and hard breach that hatch. I'd recommend also bringing like a Thatcher, because it's quite common for people to put Cade claws on this hatch. So you'd want a Thatcher to deny those Cade claws. And now you're pretty much ready to make the attack into the basement. What I'd recommend is having the Ying on the hatch, and then get one teammate to play on the tower stairs, ready to just walk down, and then your last teammate outside of the bunker door in blue. And the point of that teammate is to cover this blue area so that when you drop, you don't get shot through these holes here. A lot of teams in ranked will be putting holes here for various reasons, but just know that you can get shot dropping, so that's why you want a guy covering that. And yeah, with Ying, it's super easy. Just throw the flashes into sight, into pillar, and drop. Everybody here is going to be completely blind. You get your teammate to walk down tower at the same time, and you just kill absolutely anybody playing in this pillar area. Keep in mind, a lot of people will play Warden, just on this highway here, to deny the Ying or any flashbangs. So just keep that in mind. You might be dropping into a guy that's not actually blind. So now we've got pillar. How do we actually get the plant down? Well, you might think you just go in this corner right here and plant, right? Seems pretty safe, but actually it's not, because of this door here, freezer. If you go to plant there, anybody in freezer can just shoot you. So it's a bit unorthodox the way you plant on this site. You actually want to plant right on the door right here. And this seems very exposed, but it's not actually. How can I get shot from here? Well, a guy swinging through like this can shoot me, and anybody in the hallway can shoot me, right? Anybody in the hallway whatsoever can just go up and shoot me. But the important part is freezer door cannot see this. Can't see that door at all. So what do you need? Well, it's actually not too hard. You just need a guy, your teammate, to cover you on those two things, the hallway and the swing here. Ideally, you'd maybe want two teammates, makes it a bit easier. One guy can hold the swing here, like through this pillar wall, and then the other one can sit back and hold the highway. We call this hallway highway. And that's about it, to be honest. If you've still got Ying Candelas, you can chuck one over and then just plant right here. Not much more to it, really. Okay, that's everything for this video. Make sure to follow myself and Elevate on all our socials. They'll be in the description. Subscribe and leave a comment on what you want to see next time. Thank you very much for watching.